And it is halftime of the Oregon State-Houston game, and what a performance by the Houston Cougars in that first half. Super impressive there. I don't think it gets any more impressive than what we saw from Houston in that first half there. That was absolutely an amazing performance on both ends of the court. And, we'll have to see what we have to work with here for the second half because, that is, I didn't see anything there that said, well, we're going to collapse in the second half. Oregon State certainly could play a little bit better, but everything they did was challenged. There was really not, I would put 95% on what happened in that first half on Houston and 5% on Oregon State. I think it was just all Houston there, and that was just a tremendous performance. I mean, you can take nothing away from what Houston did there. Well, we'll see what it is here with the second half, what the lines are to work with, but this is going to be a tough one. So it's Oregon State +1 is the second half line here. That's how dominant Houston was in that half. The total is at 69. We had the total for the game was around 130, 129, and we're at 130 here. So let's see where that puts us for this one. That puts us at 34. So it puts us at 51, and then 69 would be 60. So 120. So we could hedge out of our under easily here. All we have to do is take the over, and we have a 10-point middle to hit both sides there. I think we go over 69 for the second half. I think that's the play. I think we go over 69. Because that way it gives us a cushion on our under bet for the game. How did the Beavers get this far? They knocked off a lot of really good teams. That's how they did it. The Beavers got this far by beating a lot of really, really good teams. They earned their way in. They earned their way into the spot. There's never been a number 12 seed in the Final Four, ever. The highest, the lowest rated team to ever make the Final Four is 11. So we'll have to say the person that knows the least about college basketball is Philip Wilson, who doesn't understand March Madness or college basketball whatsoever. We can criticize, I would say that this game is more about hats off to Houston than putting Oregon State down. But, we will, I'll just go with the over 69 for the second half. And I think that is the best play on the board there. I would maybe sprinkle a little bit on Oregon State here, but, it's tough. It's tough to believe that they're going to do any better than that. So, the play is going to be over. Well, we're not cashing any game bets yet, that's for sure. They don't cash game bets at halftime. Yeah, the credit is to Houston. This is not about Oregon State. This has been about Houston all the way. I don't see any. I don't see anything that Oregon State has done wrong here. They have been challenged every inch of the court. And it's just a tremendous. I don't think Houston could have played a better half of basketball than that. I just don't believe it. Houston's defense is playing off the chain. They're not just playing well. They're playing off the chain. Like they're playing like they want it. We have the over 69 for the second half. It's going to be our play. My TV in the studio is still set to TBS. I was watching The Family Guy. I think it might be worth putting a little something here on Oregon State. I think that they'll have to convert shots. Now we're at plus 1.5 for Oregon State and plus 120. So the money is coming in on Houston here for the second half. Well, the game isn't over. I mean, it's a 15-point game, right? So and it's 8.5 is the line. So it's 17 points is the line, right? Well, 17 points is the game. The line is 8.5. If Oregon State wins the second half by 9, they cover. I mean, it's a big number they have to work with here. So that's great that your dad went to Houston. I mean, it's really has very little to do with betting on this game. Yep. See, when people say that they have it in the bag and stuff, that usually means that that's usually a good sign that there's potential here for a comeback. So we'll take Oregon State here up, plus the points, plus the 1.5. I don't think we're going to need it. I think the better play is the money line here. And then I think there's value there, plus 120. Why not? I mean, why not? And the over. So $300 pays $360 on the money line there. Anyways, what do you guys have for this game? What do you guys have for the next game? More importantly. Yeah, we know who you have, Jeb Booker Gaming. I think you've probably said enough. A lot of Baylors. Arkansas under 148. Yeah, the Oregon State's not out of it here for the cover by no stretch of the imagination. They're going to have to play better. And to think that Houston's going to be able to maintain that level, we haven't really seen it from them, too often this season. But obviously they have the Yeah, we don't address our community, other members of our community, as clowns. We don't bet against each other. We bet against the book. So anyone that thinks that that's okay by any stretch of the imagination is not welcome in our community. That's for sure. You're going to be respectful or you're not going to be here. This isn't your mom's house. Anyways. Clowns. Yeah. We'll see you later. We don't refer to other people in our community as clowns. That's for damn sure. The Flyers aren't playing the Bruins. The Flyers are playing the Sabres. And we all took the Sabres. If you watched our premium show. Which you didn't. Right? Anyways, not a lot to talk about here, just one game. Just one game here. So, nothing too exciting. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Well, if you do, let me know. We took the over, is what we took, and I also sprinkled a little bit on Oregon State money line just for the hell of it. I haven't started the videos for tomorrow because there was no lines out, so I took a nap instead. There's only 2 lines out. Well, now there's lines. For 3 of the NBA games, there's lines. There's no lines on the Clipper Magic game, so I haven't done the videos yet. There's only 6. It's not going to take me long. But this game, I don't know. It definitely, you could see it early that Oregon State looked a little overmatched. Will they circle the wagons here? Because we've seen them beat good teams this season. So let's see what their resume looks like as far as come from behind. I don't know, man. People have got some real issues in these comments. That's what I would say. Yes, overtime counts with second half bets. So let's see. Yeah, they were down to 16 to UCLA. So there you have it. So Oregon State has the ability to come back. And they don't need to come all the way back. They're really only down by 9 if you bet them. So game far from decided. NFL draft coming up in April. No, we don't usually. We're not a draft. We covered the draft live last year, the entire thing from start to finish. And I have to say it wasn't a lot of fun. I don't think I'm going to be doing that this year. Not a lot of people tuned in, and it wasn't a lot of fun. But it did happen during the COVID stoppage. There was nothing else going on. We'll see what happens in this one. It definitely, I would say, looks a little bleak for Oregon State. But there's a reason they play the full game. And Kelvin Sampson, the Houston coach at halftime said, he goes, what do you think about your performance? He's like, we're 20 minutes in. This really doesn't mean much. So we'll see shortly. I'm going to change up the style of the videos today. I know that a lot of people are kind of get sick of my first intro piece and my outro, so I'm going to mix it up a little bit, change it. Come on, I'm working on some new things I'm going to try, and we'll see how those go. And I'll mix it up in the videos. This will give people a reason to listen. Let's see what we got. Baseball is just another day for me. Baseball gets a little long. 162 game season is a long thing. I think it's helpful from a betting perspective that there's a 162 game season, but it just gets long. Yep, we'll see, of course, on the next halftime. I was on Oregon State, so I might be in trouble here. But I also have the under, so we'll see what happens there. Sounds like a push to me. At least that's where we're sitting, but it could go the other way. I don't even know what that means. Herd immunity. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. No one here has had the vaccine. I know 2 people that have had it. You got to be 65 or older here to get it. I'm not getting it until they absolutely force me. We talk about systems all the time. Our house was built in the 70s. We gutted it and remodeled the entire thing. Yep, Sabres. I think that one made a lot of sense. I think I took that on the morning show. So, Mitchy Pucks in our Mitchy Pucks segment. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining me. Sorry I'm not full of more enthusiasm. I wish we had a more exciting game to talk about. And maybe we will. I'll tell you what, this game gets within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. I'll come back on. We'll watch the whole last 5 minutes together. Have a great second half, everyone. I'll see you in a couple hours for halftime of Baylor and Arkansas. If this game tightens up, though, we'll come on. We'll watch the last 5 minutes or so together. See you guys later. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Be sure to hit that thumbs up.